World from whichever time zone you're catching me from. My name is MD90 and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss any upload that comes up on the channel. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel, because we put out a lot of content, is head to the playlist and you'll find all various things that we're doing here curated for you based on your interests. So we've got the Kutka podcast, we've got the Tishimi production. These are movies, actually, short movies that you can find on that playlist. And news and trends. We do a lot. We do vlogs. We do a lot on this channel. So the easiest way for so that you don't lose yourself, you find a door. Well, Edith Nawakwi's health seems to be coming up in court again. So sick Nawakwi fails to appear in court. So if you remember earlier on, it was reported that Edith Nawakwi could not appear in one of the cases because that's where it was even disclosed she was fighting some form of cancer. And the person that had signed as surety simply stated they could not state when she is going to appear in court next because they do not know how her health will be at the time. So you're simply saying it's not up to that person to state when she's likely to appear in court. It's based off the doctors and her health, how she responds to the medication. So Daily Mail reported saying, Forum for Democracy and Development, FDD President Edith Nawakwi has again failed to appear in court in a case where she is charged with abduction due to reported illness. Abduction due to reported ill health. Now, this is in the case where Nawakwi is charged with abduction and threatening violence against farmers Feluna and Milton Hatembo. So if you remember, that's a story that trended in 2021 election build-up. Allegations are that between August 31st, 2021 and September 1st, 2022, Nawakwi, acting with others unknown people, threatened to kill Milton Hatembo and Feluna Hatembo. Nawakwi is accused of uttering the words, "I will kill you by chopping your head if you tell anyone whatever I discuss." Those are the allegations she's in court for. So that story trended in the build-up where she was alleging to say President Hakainde Hichilema had alleged got the farm from those two farmers, and then it's just a lot in that particular court case. So pretty much that's what she was supposed to appear in court for, and she could not appear based off her health, just like in the other case that had happened earlier on in the week. So she's missing both those court appearances. And their sureties are simply saying they cannot do anything. I mean, it's health we're talking about here. It's not their call to make. So that's the news there. While it's Gemstone stacks blackmail, Dixon Jerry weighs in. So the Zambian government yesterday announced the suspension of 15% export tax imposed on gemstone and precious stones barely 2 months after becoming effective, thereby triggering a massive debate in the country. So you're simply chipping in, as you may be aware. The government retrieved that tax that they had imposed on that. So this debate coming from the ruling government, the UPND, and obviously the general public, and that's where Dixon Jerry also chips in on the suspension of mineral tax. May the Almighty hold me. That's Blackstone there, Mwansa, who wanted to chip in also. So people are simply giving their side of the story. But Jito stepped in and they said the only reason why they withdrew the tax is because the people that are in the trade, the Zambians actually, the mines, Zambian miners, complained to say their stones are going to be unfavorable on the global market because they'll be overly taxed, meaning they'll be very expensive if they have to trade outside the country, so that they can be profitable. So that's the reason why government decided to withdraw that particular tax. But anyway, you expect people to give their points of view. And then obviously Blackstone there writes congratulations to President Hakainde Hichilema on your wise decision to take us back to the real neo-colonialism. So he says, you have earned my respect for betraying the struggling masses in Zambian citizens. It is great when the geopolitical landscape has indicated that the urgent need for more self-reliant countries is now, and your policies in mineral tax have always been clearly influenced by the same elite Western trained individuals. So he simply says the president is making policies that are in favor of the West. He alleges that's Blackson there, Mwansa, Ezra there. Yeah, and he attaches the president there, more like dear Mr. President kind of thing he wrote to President Hakainde Hichilema there. Mausampa also chips in at it again, prioritizing foreign mine owners at the expense of majority Zambians. It is really on what the Treasury collects. Removal of duty from 50% to zero gives them a huge profit abroad, while Boma continues to be broke with no money for power. For power and citizen needs. So he simply says it makes no sense. That's Mausampa there chipping in. Kasonde Mwenda also Hakainde Hichilema gives tax holidays to foreign companies as he cancels the 15% tax on emerald exports, so that they take it for free while Zambians remain in poverty. So that's the argument coming from the other side. Pretty much Mausampa doubles down on the same. And then I want to see Thomas Supalo and Christine in 2026. Those are the youthful members of parliament. People are taking polls to say how many more youths are going to go into parliament in 2026. And then also Raphael Nakashinda lied about Lungu's raid. That's in the witness, says the Anti-Corruption Commission has testified that the politician Raphael Nakashinda lied when he claimed that President Hakainde Hichilema directed the Drug Enforcement Commission agencies to raid the ex-President Edgar Lungu's house. There should have been earlier on. So that's a court case. Another one, Mass Newspaper also says people are bitter. They are waiting for the right time to express their anger. Bishop Supu. That's the news in that regard. Was this SEC silence on agro fuel? And Imita Ufole Nalumango encourages women to fall pregnant and get paid. It seems like government has put in a policy where it encourages more births. There are two sides to this particular argument. I've seen this debate going around. People are saying people are already suffering and they are encouraging them to have more kids. What amount of money are these government even giving to these particular women that are saying, for the pretty much saying, get pregnant and get paid? So people have wondered to say, is she preaching or is she speaking based off the reality on the ground? But pretty much that's a statement coming from the Republican Vice President, Mtalena Lumango, who simply says, hey, there are benefits to having a large population. That's true. I don't know what you guys think. You can chip in on that as a Daily Nation. And then Edgar Lungu, I will never plot against Hakainde Hichilema and my country, Edgar Lungu. So he simply is still speaking in as much as he's getting medical attention there. What else is in the newspapers? Hakainde Hichilema cracks whip, fires, reshuffles ministers and permanent secretaries. That news is still trending. And what else is here? Hichilema fires. I mean, obviously, that's the news. That's the one that got people off guard is the move of Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit National Coordinator Gabriel Pollen to the Ministry of Local Government as a permanent secretary. Pretty much the National Coordinator and permanent secretary are pretty much like the same portfolio, but people would prefer to be in the DMMU. Yeah, so Pollen has been moved. I don't think anyone has been replaced in that particular portfolio. Probably the president is taking his time to make that change. And pretty much that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day.